Wow. Just wow. I am not easily shocked by the stupidity of these people. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing anymore. I have been covering the woke for so long. I have become desensitized to their insanity. But even I was surprised when I read this op ed in the USA Today this morning. Have any of you guys ever heard of Mike Freeman? My guess, probably not. Here he is in all of his glory. Now that you've seen him, I am sure you already know where this is going. Anytime I see someone flashing that hand sign, it confirms two things for me. One, they're an SJW. Two, they're a lifelong virgin. That is the V sign that he's flashing for virginity. According to his Twitter bio, Mike Freeman describes himself as a trekker, a grown man, a trekker. Remember those pictures I showed you guys yesterday of grown men dressing like Luke Skywalker or whatever they call the Star Trek characters? Remember that? That is Mike Freeman. He is also the sports, race, and inequality editor at USA Today. What the hell kind of job title is that? They should change it to identifier who looks to be offended. Mike Freeman would be the perfect guest on Jamel Hill's podcast. They could combine their audience and finally reach double digits. Last night, Mike Freeman published an article on USA Today that I can only describe with one word: shit. Headline of the article: if the NCAA weren't so utterly gutless, it could save transgender lives. I happen to agree that the NCAA is gutless. That's one of many adjectives I've used to describe the NCAA: useless, pointless, meaningless, irrelevant, gutless. But I read the headline of this article and I was already confused. How in the hell is the NCAA supposed to save transgender lives? Matter of fact, I didn't know transgender lives were in danger. Are we going to start a new activism group, TLM, Trans Lives Matter? Have you heard about anyone associated with TLM having their lives in danger? I mean, I see cops being targeted every day. I see people in Ukraine fighting for their lives, but I didn't know we also had a trans crisis too. Good to know. Thanks, Mike Freeman. The premise of the article: Mike Freeman wants the NCAA to punish states like Texas, who have passed stringent transgender laws, not on adults, on children. Texas has essentially made it illegal for a child to become transgender. Not only that, if a doctor, a teacher, any adult that is not the parent or guardian, if anyone assists a child in becoming transgender, they can be reported to the state. Social justice warriors believe this is discrimination. They are infringing on the rights of these children. These children were born with gender dysphoria. What the fuck is that? I legitimately had no idea. I had to look up gender dysphoria. Basically, it is a supposed medical condition where you're born the wrong gender. Now, when I think of medical conditions, I think of anemia, high blood pressure, cancer, things out of your control. If a 13-year-old boy wakes up one morning and wants to be a dandelion, that is not a medical condition. It is simply confusion. Look, I have no problem if a 30-year-old man wants to become a woman. Bruce Jenner, for example. I have no problem with him becoming Caitlyn Jenner. I don't even mind using proper pronouns, calling him she. I get comments from time to time asking why I use proper pronouns when talking about certain transgender people. It's just a respect thing. I know I'm harsh on Leah Thomas, but I have nothing against her personally. My issue comes in when she expects to be accommodated by ruining the dreams and the hard work of actual women. But when it comes to children, that's where I draw the line. They should not be allowed to make gender-based decisions. There is a reason parents are legally called guardians. They have a responsibility to protect their children. Why? Because kids are defenseless. They don't have the ability to make rational decisions. According to a 2020 study, anywhere from 60 to 90% of children regret their decisions to become transgender. Kids change their minds all the time. One day they want to be Cam Newton, the next they want to be Cameron Diaz. But you're not going to hear this from people like Mike Freeman. All they care about is promoting their narrative. Just like African Americans, illegal immigrants, pick a protected class. Transgender people are being used by the far left. Mike Freeman doesn't give a shit about confused children. They're just a tool he uses to push his agenda. He claims Texas has made it illegal to be transgender. No, Mikey, Texas has made it illegal for children to be transgender. There's a difference. If you want to become trans and change from the woman that you are to a man, you are well within your rights to do so. Mike Freeman wants the NCAA to make a statement. Punish these rednecks and cowboys in Texas. They are not smart like us elites from the Northeast. What statement does he want the NCAA to make? The first and second round of the NCAA tournament, I'm talking about the real March Madness here, not the fake March Madness they created for the women this year. But the first two rounds are being held in Fort Worth, outside of Dallas. The Sweet 16, the Elite Eight, they're in San Antonio. Mike Freeman wants the NCAA tournament moved to a state that doesn't discriminate against transgender children. There's that word again, discriminate. There seems to be a lot of confusion about discrimination and what it means, protected classes and all that. So let me explain this concept to people like Mike Freeman, who clearly don't understand. Discrimination occurs when you're being held back or treated differently because of something out of your control, your skin color, your biological gender, your ethnicity. You don't get to choose to be in a protected class. You don't get to choose to be a victim. If you want to be transgender, fine. But that doesn't mean the rest of us have to accommodate your decision. You shouldn't be treated unfairly, but you shouldn't expect special treatment either. Like I said, Mike Freeman wants the tournament moved to a state that doesn't discriminate against transgender children. In other words, he wants it moved to a woke state. He even cites a precedence of this happening in the past. Back in 2016, North Carolina passed a law in regards to public restrooms. The law stated, you must use the restroom of your biological gender. The 43-year-old pervert couldn't identify as a woman and use the same bathroom as the 14-year-old girl. Now, this is common sense stuff. We shouldn't need laws guiding you to the proper fucking restroom. But that is the kind of people we're dealing with today. People who get confused when it comes to the difficult choice of bathroom choice. There's only two, motherfucker. Choose the right one. When the state of North Carolina passed this bill, to the delight of everyone living in Charlotte, the NBA moved their All-Star game. The NCAA, they also banned championship events from being held in North Carolina. Now, to my knowledge, they haven't held one there since. So yes, there is precedence. But there was so much backlash from these decisions, I would imagine the NCAA is hesitant when it comes to Texas. Not to mention, it would be damn near impossible logistically to relocate the tournament in 2 weeks. But this is the problem. This is the problem when you acquiesce to social justice warriors. You find yourself caught in the middle. It's never enough. They look at bending to their will as a sign of weakness. The NCAA, they've bowed to us before. How come they are not listening to our demands now? Because your demands are ignorant. What the hell does a Texas transgender bill have to do with the NCAA tournament? Nothing. Mike Freeman claims the NCAA moving the tournament out of Texas would save transgender lives. Someone please tell me how moving the tournament saves one life. How it saves one life. How? It doesn't. It doesn't. It would be nothing but a virtue signal, and it would set up the NCAA to bow the knee to these useless shitfucks going forward. You guys know I am no defender of the NCAA. And if they even address this bullshit, I will torch them. If they release a statement, I will torch them. There is no reason to move the tournament, and there's no reason to address Mike Freeman in the USA Today. We have seen what happens when these sports leagues acquiesce to social justice warriors and move events over political issues. Look at what happened to Rob Manfred in Major League Baseball last year when they moved the All-Star game. Look at what happened with the NBA. They kept bowing. They kept bowing. The lower they bowed their heads, the lower they got on their knees, the lower their television ratings went. I told you guys yesterday, the message is clear. America has rejected wokeism. I'm talking real Americans, not so-called Americans like Mike Freeman. I don't know about you guys, but I am fed up with their bullshit. If you don't like it here in America, if you think we're discriminatory, there's a simple solution to your problem. Get the fuck out. All right, let me know what you guys think. USA Today, Mike Freeman, pushing the NCAA to punish Texas and move March Madness. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.